out. Yes, here we are. Yes, that's my jacket. And listen, if it looks a little bit like smoky or whatever in the back there, it's just the reflection of the outside light, you all. I had fellow warrior ask me on a Patreon video, because it's the way that the sun was shining in that kind of gave it a little bit of a haze. But just for anybody who's wondering, no, I have not started smoking cigarettes again. No, and that's not gonna happen. No. Oh, no. I listen, I don't care what storm we going through. That's not happening. Oh, no. We are in that. Oh my gosh, we are so unlearning that narcissistic mindset and everything. So let those notifications go out. And I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a heads up that this message, I don't know. Normally we try to go for the Motivational Monday show. We try to go for about an hour. I know that you're wondering, I'm not using the StreamYard software right now in the car. I can, but, we're just kind of getting the feel for what works. Just going straight up live right from the device. And, we're, again, windows are down, windows open. Okay, so we've got the air circulation going. It is a little bit, it is cloud cover today, which is fine, and like I said, it's not hot outside at all. It's actually quite comfortable today, and so we're taking advantage of I guess you could say the added shade with the cloud cover. All right, so I would talk about how God said He's going to hasten it on his time. And you got to remember how we're told, I'm paraphrasing here, but, God tells us, he said, this too shall pass. This is why we learn not to dwell on it. Okay, we cannot dwell on, whatever it is we're going through. Okay, whatever storm it is. No matter how big, no matter how small. Storms are temporary, you all. When you think about an actual storm, okay, engineered, man-made or not, they're temporary. Okay? Yes, welcome, fellow warrior. I am Michelle Dickey, your host for CHA Motivational Monday show, streaming right here on the YouTube channel, Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance, where trauma healing and spiritual growth are front and center while combating radio frequency for healthier living. Because let me tell y'all something. Yeah, the storms are temporary, and that includes your detoxing. That includes anything. Remember something. When you are making positive changes in your life, health-wise, there are going to be some things. Remember something. Okay, there we go. All right, I've got the chat over here. I'll get to those here in a moment. But I need to motivate y'all and remind you, all storms are temporary. Bruises, they heal, right? They're temporary. I know that the enemy would love to try and prolong. He's all about trying to prolong pain and suffering wherever he can. But y'all got to remember something no matter what happens. Isaiah 60:22, God says when the time is right, he's going to hasten it. No matter what, the devil and his flying monkey narcissist cannot stop God. Cannot stop what God is doing for his chosen one. It is not going to happen. For example, okay, I will share with you all a little secret here. That it is possible for those who are on a weight loss journey, or if you are just you toning up or whatever it might be, right? Let's say you want to shed a few inches by a certain time frame. You can do it. All storms are temporary. Seriously. And how temporary really depends on that mindset. Remember, we are going through the renewing of the mind. We are going through the renewing of the mind. All right, and it's a journey. It's another process. Remember that our thoughts govern our lives. A good part of it, right? As you've heard me talk about before, and you'll hear me talk about again. My late grandpa, in his book, how he talks about our thoughts govern a significant portion of our lives. He's so true. So right about that. Because what we think in our heart, so are we, right? What a man thinketh in his heart. So you've got to be mindful of that. All storms are temporary. You got to keep going. No matter what, you got to keep picking up the cross and following Jesus. I don't care what it is the devil's trying to throw at you. Because like I've said before, those attacks, the closer to a goal you get, the attacks are going to ramp up. The question I had to God was, I see the attacks ramping up because I'm getting closer to my goal. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I said, but I ain't said nothing. I ain't told nobody what the goal is. That's between God and me. So I asked God, I said, well, how in the world does the enemy know when to ramp up those attacks? And you know how the narcissist, the demonically possessed, they communicate in the spiritual, right? Jezebel, they pass the baton to one another. So if there's somebody, I'm out here walking, right? And if there's somebody who's demonically possessed, they happen to be a Jezebel. It's weird, but it's how it works in the spiritual realm, is that they know, just by looking at me, that changes have been made. Positive changes are occurring. And so for those of you who are trying to reach a goal, let's say you want to shed a couple of inches off of your waist, okay? And you're wondering why. Let's say you've been walking, you've been working out, you've been trying to figure this out. You've been, and you're focusing on the internal, and the external will follow, right? Yes, never forget the importance of that. You got to focus on the internal, and the external will follow, because God will reveal it. He always does. At his appointed time, he had to see that we're ready for it. So for those of you who have been on this journey, you're like, all right, well, I measured 2 weeks ago, and I don't see any improvement. Like, you're focused on the internal. You can feel it on the internal, but you're not seeing it on the external yet, because the external is not following. I want you to check your thyroid. That's right, thyroid checkup. All right, check that thyroid. And then there are natural sources of iodine, cod, okay, eggs, all right, but cod, especially beef liver, and fish, really. Fish is one of the most abundant sources of iodine. And then, of course, if you're going to use salt, iodized salt. But make sure you're getting some iodine. Of course, there's iodine supplements out there, too. But check that thyroid. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if your thyroid is sleeping a little bit, even just a little bit, and you've been working out and you've been doing and things like that, well, cut back on the carbs, too. Remember, your thyroid is largely responsible for your energy production. Well, what helps the body produce that energy? Okay, well, carbs get turned to sugar that produces that energy. Well, what regulates that? Your thyroid. Your thyroid also regulates your body's internal heat. So you got to remember that too. So you're sitting there, you're working out, you're like trying to figure it out. You're like, I got this goal, and I've been at it for like, let's say a whole month, and I'm like, why am I not sitting? Check your thyroid. Because I can tell you, once you figure it out, and you take control back of your thyroid, you realize, oh, hold on a second, a little ice pack, get some iodine in there. Within 24 hours, you will notice a huge difference. But don't measure right away. Keep walking, keep working out. Give it at least 48 to 72 hours before you measure again. I guarantee you, it is possible to lose 1 full inch off that waist in 48 hours, but you got to be intentional. You got to be deliberate with it. You got to make sure that you are taking care of your thyroid. You got to be taking care of yourself. Continue to work out, but don't overdo. Okay? Do not overdo. Keep the working out. Eat your fruit. Okay? Don't eat when you want. Eat just when you're hungry. You know what I'm saying? And remember, portions are very, very important, but take the burden off your digestive system. Take the burden off your thyroid, meaning how much bread and noodles are you eating? Right? If you are consuming way too much bread and noodles, you need to cut that in half. Cut it out. Cut it in half. Okay? Because your body will. But your thyroid, you don't want to burden that thyroid. Give it some iodine and give it a couple of days. But keep walking and stuff like that. Okay? And you will notice. But remember, it's mental as well. Mental. All right? That's what I'm saying. All storms are temporary. You can lose an inch within 48 hours. Absolutely. But you got to have your thyroid working. Okay, your thyroid had to be awake. It had to be working right. So, well, and then, yes, all storms are temporary. And God teaches us, thank you, the storms oftentimes come with God simply want us to change direction a little bit. Just want us to change that thinking. Here recently, that's a lot of what he's been doing with me. And I've been sharing it with y'all to unlearn narcissistic thinking. Oh, yeah. And so that's a storm, if you will. So I want y'all to realize something, that not all storms are bad. No. You got to change that thinking. Not all storms are bad. All storms are temporary, good and bad. But see, this is a good one where we are unlearning. That's right. We are unlearning narcissistic habits. We are unlearning narcissistic thinking patterns. And so that's God having us change direction in our thinking. Like, wait a second. Renewing of the mind, right? Yeah, we got to stop thinking about things the old way, right? We have to lose the old way of thinking. So, yeah. No, the thyroid does not slow down during winter, winter months with less light. No, the sunlight has absolutely zero to do with your thyroid health. Thyroid health is significantly dependent on your iodine intake. All right, the research is out there. It is out there, and I know that there are. I gave y'all some examples of food that is abundant in iodine, but you also got to remember, it's not a very long list. Okay, not a very long list. And so really, you just gotta you go with the God flow. Talk to God. There are kelp supplements. Seaweed is a big one, okay, for iodine. Absolutely, because kelp is made from shellfish. Kelp supplement. So, right, and if you're not moving around as much, less calories, you're eating less. Well, that I have never been real big on calorie counting. I just listen to the body. Like sometimes it'll say protein. It'll say I need protein, because if you're working the muscles, it's going to tell you protein. You listen. Okay, your body will tell you what it needs. I've never been huge on the whole calorie thing. I get it. Like, they're like, if you want to lose weight, then you want to burn more calories than you take in. I get that concept, and it's true, but I don't dwell on that. Okay, I don't dwell on the calorie aspect. Never have been big on calorie counting. I feel like for me, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time to sit there and count calories, like counting pounds. Why? I'm not going to do that. Either my clothes are fitting or they're not. It's really simple. So, and no, cabbage does not have iodine. Not to my knowledge. But you can add iodized salt, but be very, very minimal with that. Be very careful with that. Remember, we're trying to manage our salt intake, trying to manage our sodium for a lot of reasons. Okay, and calorie counting for bodybuilding, maybe, okay, and often for weight loss as well. But me, it's mental. Okay, it's mental. You set a goal, all right, you set a goal, and you're like, all right, Now, those of you, if you know your body, you know who you are in Christ, you know your body. If something happens, a storm comes along, and all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, this is not right. This does not seem right. This is not sitting right, because you know your body. And you can do something about it. See, the devil doesn't want people to do that. That's why he doesn't want people knowing who they are in Christ. Because once we know who we are in Christ and we know our body speaks to us, that's God telling us. Okay, it's like, okay, when the muscles, we've been working them, right? It says, okay, protein, we need protein. Okay, so that's the body talking to us. And then it'll tell us if we need a little bit of salt. Sometimes we will need to add a little bit of salt. Now, if we're going to do that, we want to try to make sure we're getting the iodized side of it, right? Okay, so you want to make sure that you are getting a decent amount of iodine. Now, I do realize that they say there's a major issue with iodine deficiency in this world, and I don't doubt that. I don't have the demon of doubt. Chosen ones, we don't have the demon of doubt, because it's not a surprise that the thyroid would be the ultimate goal, okay? Ultimate target. There you go. That's the better word. Ultimate target of the devil, because target that thyroid, man, get it sleeping. Right, and so that way your body's temperature stays hotter than it should on the inside, and you just continue to consume that salt, and you got all that muscle tension. Then next thing you know, the energy that you have, because your thyroid's sleeping, so you're not going to have natural energy, right? You're going to be running on adrenaline. That's what the devil wants you to do, because when you're running on adrenaline, that's when you're going to buy on impulse, right? Yeah, that's when he's going to get in your finances. That's when you're going to make impulsive decisions. That's when you're going to buy more than you should. That's when you're going to stay with the narcissistic mindset of overdoing, overbuying. You're going to keep thinking, oh, I got to get the biggest of the biggest, right? That's running on adrenaline. Aha. So we got to take care of that thyroid, okay? Make sure it's regulating the body's internal heat. Make sure it is doing what it's supposed to do so that your body is energized naturally. And you can think clearer, all right? But all storms are temporary, okay? All storms are temporary, absolutely. Okay, you all? Don't forget that. Yeah, okay, now crab meat, okay, if you're talking about, well, yeah, it is, crab meat can be, yeah, crab meat can be very salty, okay, so you want to be careful, but just know that, make sure, if your thyroid is regulating things normally, then you won't have a problem processing that, okay, but if your thyroid is not operating as it should be, then you may have some issue processing that salt correctly, and your body's internal temperature is going to be abnormally high, which is what the devil wants. And then, yeah, of course, if you're running on adrenaline, you're going to buy a bunch of stuff you don't need. Exactly. All part of the game of narcissism on the world stage, to get people to do that. Buy on impulse and continue to eat things that you really shouldn't eat, because your body's trying to find that energy, right? They're like, food is energy. Aha, but that depends on what kind of food. You got to be mindful of that, right? But all storms are temporary. And I heard the Lord say, he said, we're going to plow right through this storm this season. That's right. We are plowing right through this storm this season, and fast. All right, I want y'all to drop it in the comments below. God said fast. F-A-S-T. And that can go both ways. Speed and fasting, as far as food, water, what have you. Get your fruit. Fruit helps to burn fat. For those who don't know that, now you do. Fruit and protein. Okay? And then, right, we donate a lot of stuff because, right, the donation shop. That's right. They need our donations because we bought all this stuff we don't need. Oh boy, lessons. We continue to learn those lessons. All storms are temporary. And again, good and bad. All right. So like the good storm of unlearning narcissistic thinking, unlearning narcissistic habits, changing that thinking, learning how to develop more positive ways of thinking, and looking at, okay, wait, let me look at the lesson here. Let me look this up. All right. And so for whoever needs this relaxation chip magnesium lotion, okay, it is available at your health food stores. All right. Yes, magnesium lotion. Make sure it's 100% all natural. All right. And so moving on. For additional tips, okay, if you are working to try and figure out how to get your life together, right, post narcissistic abuse, right, you're like, all right, that storm is over, right, this storm is over, now I'm ready to face the next one. It's a good storm, but we got to get together in our thoughts and actions. We got to get it together. We got to get organized in thoughts and action. That's where the 5 P's coaching course at CHA Academy, BTBW.com, come in. That link is listed below. That's going to take you to how the trauma bond is formed. You click on all courses from the top, bottom, or the navigation drop-down menu. You will find the 5 P's coaching course with little pamphlet and guidance to help you get better organized in thoughts and action, being organized, because God is the author of the 5 P's. And so to get in your purpose. But see, that can also help you unpack that bag of challenging gifts that God put on the inside of you. Right, the 5 P's coaching course, because whether you realize it or not, we execute those 5 P's on a regular basis. Oh yeah, I mean, you got to plan, prepare, produce, position, promote, right? There you go. All right, those are the 5 P's. And God is always preparing us for the next level, and he will level us up when he sees that we're ready. Right, and with all courses at CHA Academy, BTBW.com, you have the option of a one-time payment or 5 monthly installments. You got to click on that arrow All right, and you can check out all the courses. Check them out, y'all. We got something for all y'all, and we got more coming. We've got the community forum. Okay, also, so whenever you enroll in a course, you got access to a active community forum where we are sharing fun fact videos, and our fellow warrior shares the occasional funny. And if we've got a word of the week, we'll put it up there. It's all about iron sharpening iron in this growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. So the storms are temporary. And so in order for us to come together and to learn and to continue getting God's wisdom and to figure out what the heck we're doing on this planet, that's what we're doing together. We help each other. We figure this out. We get right with God. We get organized in thoughts and action. We heal. We get to the other side of that rainbow where we've got the balance between the spiritual and the physical, because with that, we're able to tell the difference, that discernment, so that we don't keep getting deceived, duped over and over and over again by the same stuff. And so, yeah. Now, you can, okay, how do you see the storm coming? Okay, pay attention to the patterns. So y'all know it. Y'all know I'm about to do it. And y'all going to drop it in the comments below, because we say it a lot. Patterns tell a story. Drop it in the comment. Patterns tell a story. That's how you know when the storm's coming. That's how you know. Think about the time of year it is right now, right? All those pagan traditions are heating up. What do we know about this time of year? Spammers, right? That's when they come out of the woodworks. Ah, see, that's a storm. Okay? So thank you. Yes, patterns tell a story. That's right. Because every year, and I've noticed this now, for the past several years, I've noticed my email gets inundated around this time. Okay, want to make it a pit. Now, because we're reaching our goals, so attacks are ramping up, of course, but we've always got goals. That's what I was talking about earlier, is that when I asked God, I said, well, I ain't told nobody what the goal is. He said, I know. He said, but the enemy can see, because you talk about having goals, setting goals. So he knows you got goals, so he knows you're reaching them goals. He knows you're striving to reach them goals, so he going to attack, regardless. But anyhow, this time of year, you have to keep that in mind. This time of year, okay, with all those holidays ramping up, that these spammers and scammers, they use the same stuff. Okay, that's how we can tell and see right through their schemes. Okay, they use the same stuff, the same narrative over and over again, trying to scam you out of your money, trying to scare you, trying to make you think that you've been hacked or whatever. They're trying to make you think things that you know are not true. And this one is a very common one for anybody else who's got a website. You'll listen. I thought it was hilarious, because I said, oh my gosh, I got one of these last year, almost identical to the wording, trying to claim that there's some right. See, listen, y'all, my website. Yeah, I get notifications whenever somebody makes a purchase. So really. Yeah, if I don't get a notification, but I get some email and they're telling me that they noticed some suspicious activity on their bank statement, blah, 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 and I look at the name, I'm like, yeah, no, you didn't buy nothing from me. I know you didn't. I can easily look it up. Even if I didn't see a notification, I can easily go into my admin and I can see who bought what with the name and all of that. So, of course, I'm not going to fall for that in an email, like, duh. But that one, oh my gosh, last year, the same time of year, I'm telling you, maybe a different name, but boy, they sure do, these spammers, man, the storm, right? And it's temporary, okay? It's a temporary storm, but we don't fall for it. We don't continue to get deceived over and over again, all right? Because all storms are temporary, especially those spammers and scammers and what have you. Okay, so the ones trying to sell you, right, they're trying to sell you a product that you don't need, and they're the ones doing the hacking, or trying to do the hacking in the first place. Exactly. Remember, evil plays both sides, for we know that. Thank you all for hitting that thumbs up, because you know this message is awesome, and it's a great reminder, because it's coming from God, to remind y'all that all storms are temporary. Whatever it is you're going through, do not dwell, he says. God said, do not dwell. All right, take note of it. Be like, all right, and then we think about what we're gonna do about it. All right, how are we gonna solve it? If there's a problem to solve, we're gonna solve the problem. We're gonna solve the problem, but we're not gonna dwell on it. Okay, we're not going to sit there and dwell on it, because remember, what you think about the most is what you are going to attract more of. So if you dwell on something, let's say a little bit of discomfort in the body, you take note of it and you go, oh, okay. And so you know later on this evening, okay, I'm going to ice pack that. All right, but then you go about your day. Don't dwell on that. That's a temporary storm. You're going to get through it. You already came up with a solution. So you're just going to have to wait till you get to the house. You're going to have to wait till you get wherever it is you got to get. But you've already solved the problem. Okay? So there you go. Don't dwell on it, because if you dwell on that, then it's just going to continue. There you go. You're going to attract more of that. Okay? So, exactly. Well, more like cause. Right? They cause the problem so they can sell the solution. Exactly. Because that's opposite of what we're taught about, like find the problem and then sell the solution. Okay, but see, they like to cause the problem in order to just sell a solution. All right, so y'all got to remember that as well. All right, but all storms are temporary. And like I said, I don't know how long we're going to be, but I think this one's only going to be about a half-hour one today. Well, listen, because again, we're trying things out, but I wanted to get up here and give you all this reminder. It's important, okay? Because, well, all right, let's talk about this a little bit. All right, we're going to wrap this episode up talking a little bit about the magnesium and its relaxation components here, okay? And so, right, okay, magnesium for serious muscle fatigue or burn after heavy workout. Okay, if you've done a heavy workout and you've got a little bit of a muscle burn, you need a little bit of water, rest, stretching, and protein for that. Now, if you have muscle soreness, okay, or stiffness, rather, that's where the magnesium would help, okay? Right. Magnesium is a relaxer, okay? It's not going to take care of a muscle burn from working out, okay? That's completely different. You need water, okay? You need water for that, especially, and protein, okay, for any kind of a burn. And of course, we do like to feel a little bit of that. Chosen ones, we like those intense workouts. So we like to feel a little bit of that burn, but not too much, okay? That's called the lactic acid burn, right? Yeah, don't use magnesium for that, okay? Don't rub magnesium on for that. That's not, no, because that just needs some water and protein. Magnesium's good for relaxation. So, like, if you've got a tense, like, you can tell, right? If you come over here, especially in the neck area right here, a lot of times, you don't even realize it, but you can feel it. You're like, ooh, right? Sometimes if you just dig in there, right, and you can feel a muscle, and you can feel it's almost like a knot. Okay, that's where a little magnesium lotion, all right, put a little bit right there. Okay, a little bit right there. All right, and same thing, throughout the body, like in your calves, like I've noticed, okay, in some areas after several days of walking, and if I hadn't stretched, okay, but it's not a burn or anything like that, it's just really tight, tense muscle. Okay, if simply rubbing it, okay, with regular lotion doesn't do the trick, then I'll put some magnesium lotion there, and that'll help the muscle relax. Because you got to remember something about magnesium lotion. It will get into the bloodstream, okay? It's going to come in, and so it's going to, yeah. So a little bit goes a long way, by the way. A little bit goes a long way. So there you go, all right? Water and protein for heavy muscle workout recovery. Exactly, there you go. And then, if you have muscle knot, that muscle tension, that's where magnesium can come into play. Now, mind you, if it's whole body tension, then taking a magnesium supplement, okay, is not a bad idea. Make sure, again, like I tell y'all, make sure if you're going to do the supplement side of things, make sure that that's all there is. Make sure there's not a bunch of other crap, okay, in there. You want just 100% all natural, all right? That's what you want. So there you go. But magnesium, you can do your research of different types. I can tell you that magnesium oxide helps to get rid of air pockets as well as relax the muscle. Magnesium glycinate just helps your body magnesium levels increase, keeps them on the up and up. And then you have the other magnesium as well. They all have very specific functions, but all of them together, if you get a nice magnesium complex, that's a great way to go. All right, and so, right, and instead of taking a laxative, magnesium complex, that's what you'll want, because that helps with that too. Okay, so anyway, yeah, products on, yes, the product that you put on your skin, yes, are absorbed and can get into your bloodstream. Yeah, that includes makeup. Absolutely. We're totally aware of that. Yes, if you've been putting sunblock on, the chemicals are going into the bloodstream. Yeah, it's all part of the radio frequency poisoning side of things. Okay, evil plays both sides. And so, yeah, there is magnesium spray. Okay, I've seen people do that where they're putting magnesium spray on the bottoms of their feet before going to bed. Okay, you can try that. I mean, there's different things. Okay, there's different things there. But, yeah, anything that we put on our skin, this is why I'm real big on the all-natural side of things. You want to make sure it's all natural. You want to make sure it doesn't have a bunch of crazy stuff in it that you can't pronounce. All right, so when you're looking things up, pay attention to that. All right, make sure it's all natural. All right, and that's why I don't use sunblock or sunscreens or any of that crap anymore. I quit using that several years ago. Okay, but constipation doesn't exist, you all. It's mindset. Okay? Magnesium helps to stay regular. But the reason, if you're having trouble using the bathroom, it means you got too much salt in your body. That's all it is. That's all it is. Because salt is a stiffener when in excess. Your body's heat is too high. Excess salt gonna make it a little tough, because that's going to stiffen the muscles surrounding that area, while at the same time stiffening the stool. Magnesium and water. Yeah, make sure you drink your water, though. If you're going to take a magnesium supplement, you need to make sure you have some water. But constipation's not. No, that's just a mindset. Don't tell yourself you're constipated, because you're not. Let that sink in. No pun intended, but I'm just saying. Don't tell yourself that, because what a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. A lot of us got tricked into thinking that, but no, it's the excess salt. Your body's got to get rid of it somehow, right? Okay, well, I know magnesium is a salt, so that's another reason why. With supplements, you want to be mindful of that as well. You should not have to take that every single day. But if you're having trouble using the restroom, and you need to go, try the magnesium supplement and just let it roll. But don't dwell on it, and don't tell yourself that you're constipated. Because if you do that, well, then now you have manifested it into the physical, and now it exists. So that's really the thing. That's why I said it doesn't exist unless you think it does. All about mindset. So there you go. All right, the body hangs on to salt. The only reason that the body hangs on, okay, y'all, what causes the body to hang on to salt in excess would be radio frequency poisoning. Okay, radio frequency poisoning. Get zapped. That interrupts your body's circulation. When your body's circulation is interrupted, then that stops. Okay, your salt just kind of, now it's in slow-mo. So while it's in slow-mo, your body's internal temperature is going to rise. As that rises, ooh, that noise. And then you start to get tense. Now your muscles are tense. You get where I'm going with why the body holds on to salt in excess. It's not designed to, but it will when the conditions are right, using radio frequency poisoning and muscle tension. Muscle tension results in a number of ways and from a number of things, and primarily traumatization. It does. It all begins with negative radio frequency effects and the traumatization from narcissistic abuse to get you walking on eggshells, get you all tensed up. Because stay tense, that keeps the body's internal heat high, and it holds on to that salt, because the devil needs your body to hold on to that salt in order for it to be a magnet for radio frequency. Because God designed our biological bodies to get rid of stuff quickly that it does not want or need. But see, that's not, the devil don't like that. Because when the body is able to get rid of things in excess that it doesn't want or need, you're healthier, and the radio frequency is not going to have the intended negative effect. Now, here's the other side of it. You become aware of it. Once you become aware that that's what's happening, then the radio frequency will also not have the negative intended effects. It can't, because you are aware and you know what to do about it. You start detoxing. That's what causes the body to hold on to excessive salt, is poor circulation that stems from da-da-da-da-da. Okay. So yes, salt, anything in excess is poisonous. Another reason why God tells us do not do in excess. Anything in excess is poisonous with that, what we consume. So yeah, because salt is a metal. So you have such thing as metal toxicity. Absolutely. Remember, for those who don't know, I have a master's degree in forensic toxicology, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to metal toxicity. And it's not a secret. You can do the research and figure that out yourself. That's what I'm saying. Radio frequency poisoning and metal toxicity are identical. The symptoms are identical. Okay, they add salt. They tell you that they add salt for taste. It's not. That's what they're telling you. Because that's right. They are marketing to those walking and living by sight, trying to please their flesh. That's it. Bottom line. All right? So, right. And so radio frequency can be considered a silent killer. That's why that's part of our movement. Combating radio frequency for healthier living. Right here in this ministry at Consulting for Heightened Awareness, CHA. So, welcome to this growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ who are doing just that. Trauma healing, growing spiritually, while combating radio frequency for healthier living. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father. And you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.